we don't know what we don't know, right? Because that's the beauty of sometimes new learning. I've just saved myself £6,200 on stamp duty by just knowing certain facts about how stamp duty works, how it works with commercial units, and excuse me, and how that works with mixed-use buildings, and also that there's a relief that's called multiple dwelling relief that you can actually tap into to help you when you're working within investment of a title splitting. So how does that work? Basically, I'll give you a live scenario. I'm just about to complete on a block of 6 units, 2 commercial and 4 residential units, priced at 595,000, bought cash, and we're just about to kind of complete on it next Wednesday. I've just had the completion statement sent to me by my solicitor, and the 595, what she did was she's actually just taken the 595 and used that value as a for Sdlt purposes using commercial rates, and she came up with £19,250. Now, knowing what I know, I then rang my tax specialist, my accountant, to just double check my sanity with him, and within 2 or 3 minutes of conversation, Paul confirmed that how I'd worked out the new calculation for Sdlt is totally, absolutely the right way, and also is defensible if ever HMRC wanted to challenge that. So how did I do it? 595 is the actual value of the block. Within that block, there's 2 units for commercial, as I said. Those units produce £18,000 of rental income per year. So on average, I've said that that's a 10% yield, which is a lot higher than what you would normally get currently. But you know, using a 10% yield, I've worked out that out of the 595, 10% yield will give those commercial units a value of 180,000. So if the commercial units are worth 180,000, that means the other units, the residential units, are worth 415,000. So 595 take away 180. So because they are now worth, so I've disaggregated again part of the strategy that I teach about, that I talk about, I've written about, which is the title splitting part of it. Because I've disaggregated those 2 units now, and again, totally defensible if HMRC think that it was unjustified. We've got grounds to challenge. So 2 commercial at 180,000, that leaves 4 residential units at 415,000. Because I know the law and I know the tax rules around MDRs, multiple dwelling relief, which means that I can actually apply this multiple dwelling relief to reduce the Sdlt that applies to these units. So basically now my stamp duty liability on those 4 units has come down significantly to £12,480, and the commercial unit, because 0 to 150,000 is rated at 0, there is no investor surcharge on commercial units, but there is it's a tiered level, so 2% for the next 100,000 odd, which is then I'm liable for 30,000 at 2%, which is £600. So 600 plus the amount that I have to pay for the residential brings the total amount payable for Sdlt now down from 19,250 to £13,048. That's a savings of £6,200 on Sdlt, just by knowing things. If you didn't know, your solicitors didn't know, or you didn't inform your solicitor that you knew this is applicable, and you have the right advice around the right people to advise you, the tax accountant, somebody like me coaching you through the process to save you these things. That's what makes somebody's block of flats so much more lucrative, because you kind of know the nuances of this strategy, and it becomes a very compelling strategy to get involved in, let alone that not everybody knows about it. In fact, actually, I'd fathom a guess to say that I'm probably one of the top 2 people in the UK that talk religiously and coach around title splitting. And actually, I think I'm the only one that does the coaching on a one-to-one basis, that then makes sure that you actually get to buy something. And I'll walk you through the 6 weeks of teaching, and then 6 further weeks to then help you through the purchasing, the part of the actual strategy. But coming back to the SDLT, just having this coach walk you through some of these nuances saves a heck of a lot of money. I'm coaching somebody on the 6 weeks course at the moment, and the deal, just knowing some of these nuances around MDRs and stamp duty made his deal either workable or non-workable. And actually, we saved him something like in the region of around 24 grand, which automatically made the deal much more sweeter. So I just want to throw it out there just to say that, there are multiple ways of making money in properties. I think right now, buying blocks of multiple unit freehold blocks and creating value out of refurbishment and adding new value to it, but also going through the process of title splitting and creating value that way as well, is significant at the moment. And in fact, actually, personally myself, I do it all the time, and I'm buying units after units and leaving very little, if any, of my initial capital in the buildings itself. So I add value, and then I pull out most, if not all, of my money from each of these units. By doing that, I'm able then to scale not only the number of units I'm buying, but I'm also actually scaling the amount of investment that I've got, rental income that I've got, that every time I buy a unit of 10, 12, 8, 6, these are extra rent money that's coming in, because we're making positive cash flow. But also what we're doing is we're pulling all the money out of each deal and going to the next deal and to the next deal. This is a great strategy to build portfolio sizes very quickly, because every unit you're buying, if you're buying, say, on average a unit of 8, you buy 5 blocks in the next kind of 3 or 4 years, you've got a portfolio of 40 leasehold units that you've got yourself. If you're interested in finding a bit more, have a look at my website, quiditygroup.co.uk, or send me a DM and I can send you some of the information. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, have a look at my YouTube channel. My name is Azid Ganga. I've written 2 books about properties. If you Google my name if you search my name in Amazon, you'll find some of the literature that I've published. I'm an expert panelist on Property TV channel on Sky, channel 191, as well as I curate and write for property magazines across the UK as well. So if you're interested in finding out a bit more about my coaching sessions, you can get in touch. I also offer a one-to-one 6 weeks training course for people who want to really get their teeth into title splitting and buying multi-unit blocks of flats, building that portfolio up one unit and multiple unit freehold block at a time. Otherwise, I also have a 1 hour one-to-one call session that I offer to people who can then ask me about anything to do with properties, any kind of questions they've got. How do they scale? How do they buy? How do they find money? How do they finance? Etc. etc. So if you're interested in that as well, get in touch and we will be able to book you a session with me directly. So thanks for watching, rather, I should say, and I will see you at the next video.